Since I had my daughter, I kind of feel like, dressing stylishly or making a bit of an effort. I feel like I've lost that because for the longest time, it was just about survival. But with it, I lost a lot of my individuality, my uniqueness. I'm ready to get that back. For the longest time, I felt too old for fashion. So today I'm going to be taking you on my little journey to rediscover myself and the way that I express myself through the clothes that I wear. This is kind of a KonMari, but in a way that I feel not a lot of people talk about, but they should, because it's really helpful. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Get Your Shit Together, and in recent years I have noticed that I am becoming a lot lazier with the way that I present myself. And I'm not talking about dressing for other people, I'm talking about dressing in a way that makes me feel good. I used to have a pretty quirky style that veered wildly between a grungy rocker and young fashion intern. But I was very comfortable and confident and happy in it. And then these days, with a kid and a work from home business and a social life that has basically taken a tumble off a cliff, I don't really make the effort anymore. I mean, a little bit for these videos, but that's about it. Most days I just wear something that is halfway clean and just covers my body so that I don't die from exposure or the shame of indecency. And so the first big revelation for me was that I should go back to dressing how I used to when I was happy with how I dressed. It sounds so obvious, but there was this huge part of me that was like, no, you're on the wrong side of 30 now, Laura. I mean the wrong side and way on down the tracks. You can't be dressing like that anymore. You're too old. But then I realized that it's kind of like how fashion trends work. You know, some things that were in fashion years ago can come back into style, but it is usually like a modernized, updated version with like a different silhouette, different colors, a different cut, etc. So there is no reason why I still can't wear the same types of looks, just, tailored to the older, wiser version of me. So think back on a time when you were happy with how you dressed and then try and incorporate elements of that into your current season of life, your current shape, your current career, etc. And the second thing that I realized, on the back of this was that I don't have to limit myself to one particular style. This was stuck in my head for the longest time because you hear everyone talking about finding your signature style. And as a businesswoman, I'm always hearing talking about, dressing for your brand. Having a brand style or a brand uniform. And that sucks because some days I'm all dark and moody and I want to get my inner goth on. And then other days, I'm all sunshine and sequins. I don't know why I thought that was an issue. I don't behave the exact same way every day. I don't do the exact same things every day. I don't eat the exact same foods every day. So why should I dress in the exact same style every day? So don't feel that you are hemmed in to one particular style if you feel that more than one works for you, even if they are completely different. So with those two things settled, I was going to dress exactly how I wanted to, but with a little bit of an updated twist. And I was going to wear whatever the hell I wanted. I set about tackling my closet. And here is where the KonMari part comes in. So I've done the KonMari method before and I have found it really helpful, so it was a bit of a no-brainer when it came to this challenge. In order for me to make sure that I am only wearing the clothes that I love, the clothes that spark joy, I have to get rid of the ones that don't. I have to say goodbye to the stuff that I have just been wearing, like, for comfort. And that's not to say that I can't be comfortable, but if I'm only wearing something because it's comfortable and I don't also feel, confident or happy in it, then what's the point? So the problem, or one of the problems that I ran into last time, was that I was, it was that comfort sparks joy for me. So I was keeping a lot of clothes based purely on the comfort factor. But then last year I reread The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, and there's something in it that she talks about that I thought I would try that I don't feel a lot of people really mention all that much. And that is ranking your items. So all of these clothes in my closet right now technically spark joy. You know, I've gone through the KonMari Method. These have survived the cull, but I still look around and I see some things that like I absolutely love and adore that really spark joy, and then other things that like still spark joy but just less joy. So I am going to rank them. I am literally going to line up my clothes in order of how much I love them. Let's get started. It only took me a few minutes to drag everything out, and honestly, you don't have to do this part. You can just start ranking them, you know, in situ. But I know from doing the KonMari Method, I find it really helpful to start with a blank slate. And I wanted to give the space like a quick dust and vacuum. It also helps if you have all of your clothes together. So if you've got some that need washing, you know, have the machine going while you're doing this so that you can add them in later. I always feel like this is the worst part because you're tired from taking everything out and now you've got to put it all back in. But I will say, if you can avoid it, try not to take a break, because if you do, it will just be so much harder to come back to. So just rehydrate and keep going, you know, build up some momentum so that if you do need to take a break later, you're not facing into all of this. I brought a handful of clothes back in at a time, and then I basically just ranked them according to how much I loved them. I would pick up each item and just try slot it into where I thought it went. And if I wasn't sure, I'd kind of pit it against another item. So if I'm really unsure about something, what I will do is kind of pick something else out, and then I will ask myself, you know, if I could only keep one of these two, which one would it be? If it's this one, then it goes ahead of that item, and if it is this one, then it goes behind. And I basically just keep doing that until I find a space where I feel like it slots in. Right about there. Now, a great way that you can do this is to score your clothes based on various factors, like how comfortable you feel in it, how confident you feel in it, you know, how often you actually wear it, etc. And the clothes that tick the most boxes go towards the front. Now, you don't have to be exact with this. You don't spend too much time, you know, agonizing over it. Just make your decision and move on. And at the end of all of that, you will have your clothes ranked in order from the ones you love most to the ones you love least. Okay, I'm done. And that was not fun. And so I realized pretty early on in the process that ranking each item kind of individually on its own was just going to take me far too long. So instead, what I ended up doing, which was much quicker and would recommend, is to kind of just categorize them in terms of like super love, love, and then just like. So my three broad categories, and then I could just lump something into one category rather than trying to find out where it fit. But something that I did notice as I was going along, patterns started to emerge. So I realized that the things I tend to love the most are like the dressier clothes, so like going out clothes. And that makes sense because, you know, they're generally the nicer, better quality, kind of more glamorous things. But what I can do now is try and incorporate those like into my everyday stuff. Like some of them can be dressed down so that I can wear them a little bit more frequently, or I can commit to wearing them a little bit more often by maybe going out, you know, once a month and giving myself an occasion to dress up for. Another pattern I noticed is that a lot of the stuff that I really love and adore is brightly colored stuff, or like sequins, which is strange because a lot of my closet is actually like dark black clothes. Those are kind of my like everyday go-tos, whereas the stuff that I really love and has stood the test of time, it's generally all the like rainbow sequin stuff, you know, hot pinks, greens, reds, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna try and incorporate more color into my closet too. So yeah, I can't always wear, you know, a brightly colored ball gown to pick up my daughter from school or whatever, but I can try and incorporate those types of things more into my everyday life, or to give myself an occasion to wear them. So see if you can spot a pattern. Are there kind of the same types of clothes towards like the top of your pile, and are there the same types of clothes towards the bottom of your pile? Those are the things that you should not buy again if you are out shopping. The next part now is kind of tricky because I have to decide where my cutoff point is. Where is the point beyond which I do not want those clothes anymore? Let's go. Again, this isn't an exact science, so I kind of have to go by gut, but somewhere along this line is the point beyond which I am no longer willing to settle, the point at which the clothes are really only ticking one box. And I think it was really helpful for me to do it in the categories that I mentioned earlier, the super love, the love, and the like, because I think the like category is probably the one that kind of seems to be where the natural cutoff point is. And then everything else behind that was put aside to be donated. And I knew that all the stuff that was left was what really made me feel excited about getting dressed up again, you know, even if it was just to go to the shop. But if you've still got stuff in the laundry, you could keep your clothes like this, you know, ranked until everything has all been incorporated together. Or if you are sure that you're done, you can go back to organizing however suits you best. So for me, I go according to type. So I start with strappy and kind of vest or tank tops, then short sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, then kind of blouses or shirts, cardigans and shawls, jumpers / sweaters, then like shorts, casual skirts, trousers, and then hoodies at the back. And then on the long rail is all of the long hanging stuff, you know, the fancier kind of things, and outerwear. So jackets, you know, dressier skirts, actual dresses, dungarees and jumpsuits, and coats. Now you could go by color or by season, or, you know, divided by activity. So maybe work clothes, gym clothes, casual clothes, etc. Just whatever works best for you. But something that I try to do is to keep store displays in mind. So if you walk into kind of like a big jumbled mess, you're not going to think twice about just tossing things all over the place. But when they're neat and tidy, you know, all the hangers are the same, they're all evenly spaced or whatever, they're more visually appealing, and you're more inclined then to take your time and to treat them with a little more care. So keep that in mind as you are reorganizing your closet. Okay, so now that I have gone through everything in my closet, I have a much better idea of what is in here. There were some things that I had forgotten about, things that were buried in the back. I did consider, because these are all kind of cramped right here, I did consider putting some on the top rail, but I actually like having them on the same rail. Plus I'm a short arse, so this is too much of a stretch. But what I'm going to do now that everything's kind of fresh in my mind, is I'm going to try on some outfits. And the way that I do this is to, you know, put things together, try them on, and then snap a picture and send it to a trusted friend for feedback. I tend to keep going then until I have about 7 to 10-ish outfits, you know, enough for a week. And then I delete the photos of the outfits that I don't like, that don't make the cut, and I save the ones that I do like for future reference. So you could create an outfits folder on your phone and save all of the outfits that you really love, and then every time you wear a new one that you love, snap a picture and save it in there. It is time consuming to try everything on, so feel free to just like mentally put outfits together, but I know from my own experience that things often look completely different when they're actually on me. And I think everything You get a more objective view when you look at something in a photo. I don't know, like sometimes I think I look cute and then I snap a picture and I'm like, Pinterest is also a great source of inspiration if you're struggling to put things together. Just search for an item that you have, you know, like white jeans, cream camisole, black overalls, whatever, and see what looks other people are pulling together and see if you can then replicate them in a way that suits you using what you already have on hand. And now I'm going to do the same with my shoes, bags, underwear, socks, etc. But you don't need to see that, you already get the idea. But the next time that you go shopping, pick up something that you wouldn't normally go for and try it on, because like I said, things look completely different on a hanger, so you might be surprised. You see, there's a dress over here. Where is it? This dress, okay, I thought this looked hideous in the shop, but I went and I tried it on for a laugh. But the joke was on me because I fell in love with it, and I now have it about 10 years, and it is one of the most worn items in my closet, even more than honeymoon. So just goes to show, you don't need to get all dolled up just to go to the shop. You know, you don't need a full face of makeup to take your kid on a play date. But hopefully by purposely choosing the clothes that you love, the clothes that make you happy, and by resetting your style and your closet, you will find it so much easier to get dressed, and you will feel great in the clothes that you're wearing. You'll feel great about how you look again. Not for anyone else, but for yourself. If you are looking for my best tips on KonMariing your clothes, then check out this video right here. And for other ways that you can reset your life, catch up on the rest of the series right here. And be sure to subscribe, because next up is all about mindset. It is nixing all those negative thoughts and finding the glass that's half full. Until then, Cura Míle Mágwebh, agus feici méis sigalua. Slán!